it's Lori. Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Wisconsin. We're going to pretend it's Monday, March 23rd, 11:59 p.m. I'm 4 minutes late. So, let me get my devices set up. Let me get a little cough drop going here. I am a little late because I decided I wasn't going to tempt fate, and I restarted my phone just to make sure that I would have sound. So let me get my other device up here. Okay. Oh dear. I want to open a file. There we go. I guess I wasn't quite ready, but I wanted to I wanted to get on so I wasn't too awful late. But hi, Allie. I'm getting there. Hello, friend. How are you tonight? I think I'm finally getting set up here. Let me get back to where I was. There we go. So how was your day, Allie? Anything fun and exciting going on? It's almost time for a pre-order for us. Some weekly updates coming up for demonstrators. And if you want to know about all of those things, check out latenightlori.stampinup.net. Products, promotions, catalogs, my store, all the things you can find there. One of the things coming up is our virtual album retreat. Oh, you painted your porch today. Oh, it was nice your son was able to help you. Sounds like an accomplishment. I didn't accomplish a whole lot. I had the studio open today. Our granddaughter was here today. We did some errands this morning, but that's about it. Right now my crafting table is nice and clean. So anyway, we've got this virtual album retreat coming up at the end of April, April 29th and 30th, along with May 1st. I believe May 2nd is like scrapbooking day or something, and then May is like scrapbooking month or something. I think that's something that Stampin' Up! Or somebody told me. So anyway, this virtual album retreat is available for purchase. It became available on March 18th. The retreat itself is 3 days, about 7 hours. So this is Mountain Time, 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Times will vary. The first day, I think they're planning on doing 4 2-page spreads. The second and third day, they're going to be doing 3 2-page spreads. There is just a lot of stuff in here. Excuse me. And we'll be led by some of the folks at Stampin' Up! Who will teach us some new techniques, some things that maybe we didn't think about for scrapbooking. A lot of those techniques can be put into journaling and card making and all the things. So here's the layouts. So there are 10 2-page spreads, and we get a ton of products with this. So we get 2 stamp sets, designer series paper, and 2-tone cardstock that will be one-sided because they'll have the cutting guidelines on the back. There are some pre-cut images, some stickers, some embellishments, some linen thread, one of the new Golden Glow shimmer brushes, one of the new white gel pens. We'll have the page protectors, some flip flaps, and some photo place card holders. So A lot of things in that. If you purchase this and are local to me, we will have a watch party if you want to join me and craft or chat or snack or whatever. Depending on how many there are, we'll either do it at the studio or at another venue. We'll figure it out. Product of the month. This started back in December. I'm a fan. You know, place an order. Qualifying order in the United States is $75 before tax and shipping, after any discounts, Stampin' and rewards you might have. But then you can add the product of the month to your cart for just $5. This is the cute little set this month. And we made this card yesterday. And because I love this paper so much and I hadn't played with it yet, we're going to play with it tonight. Don't ask me exactly what we're going to make. We'll see. I'm going to probably try to case something from Stampin' Up. We'll see how it works. Okay. And then we've got a couple of catalogs that are coming to an end. So May 4th, our annual catalog and our January to April mini catalog are going to be closing out. They're going to be done. Hello, Rosa. Welcome. And on the 5th, we will be ushering in a new catalog and a new catalog platform. I don't know. That's probably not a new catalog schedule. We're not going to have a year-long annual catalog anymore. We're going to go to 3 4-month catalogs. So January to April, May to August, September to December. This is the first edition. Basically, it's kind of like a magazine catalog. It's going to have all of the staples in it. So we're going to have colors, embellishments, tools, all of those things that maybe new stampers might need. It's going to be heavy on product, not so much on experience, so that we can share it with people that might not be as familiar with Stampin' Up, online exclusives, that sort of thing, or who really just prefer to have paper in their hands. There are a lot of them out there that don't like to do just the online shopping. Okay. And I'm going to try to move. Which way do I need to move this? I feel like I'm a little crooked. So anyway, this is coming. I cannot show you the inside of the catalog because that would be breaking a Stampin' Up rule. And I do not like to be a rule breaker usually. All right. So let's just kind of take a look at some of this product. We'll see how much of it I use. Now, the suite is currently not available. Hey, Juju. Because the designer series paper is sold out right now. Okay. But you can go to my site, or if you're a demonstrator, go to your own site. You can look up this Delicate Whispers suite. Actually, is it called? It's called the Delicate Dreams suite. If you just type in Delicate, you'll get a bunch of products coming up. But the Delicate Dreams specialty designer series paper is sold out right now. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm sure that's why it's sold out. But this gray granite ribbon, this is, it looks like maybe 1/4 inch. Yep, it's 1/4 inch ribbon. We might try to color this and see how that comes out. There are these matte dots, these natural matte dots. And I used some of them for something, I don't remember what. But they come in white, secret sea, old olive, and I think that's probably crumb cake. We've got this bundle. So the Delicate Whispers, I love that flower. We did some of these when we did our paper pumpkin alternatives. We used some of those on there and colored a bunch of them. So I'm looking forward to using this. I really like sets that have some of that realistic foliage sort of thing. And then we'll probably use that die because I want to show you how the dies can cut out some elements from the paper. And I need to take a look at that too because I haven't really paid too close of attention to all that. And then there's another set of paper. Let me see if I can track that down. That's all, here it is. We've got this one too, and this is the Delicate Designs. go. So I'm not sure that the dies will cut these out, but we get, these are all like a copper or bronze foiling on here. And there are 6 sheets. They are one-sided because of the paper making process. So you get 2 sheets of each of these 3 designs. So they're really quite pretty. We'll see if we use any of these tonight. I'm not really sure. We'll see what card I try to case from the website. But this paper is gorgeous. So we used this piece last night with kind of the tweed on the back. And we're going to use this piece again. So I'm going to trim this down to a card front size again. And we're going to do 5.5 by 4 1/4. We'll get that ready. I'm going to keep that. We're going to use this side though. So let me get a card base. Rosa, Juju, how was your day? Anything exciting going on? We've got a pre-order starting for demonstrators. So when you go to your pre-order, you should have a box to request your paper catalog if you were not at Onstage. So if you did not go to our conference or convention, make sure you check the box to get your free catalog. I hate to cover this up because it is so pretty, but the card I'm looking at uses the other side, so I'm going to roll with it. And I may find myself ordering more of the paper. I don't know. We'll see, because it is gorgeous. I can't right now, so if I wanted to do that, I'm going to have to just mark the notify me box. Busy Monday for you, Juju. Okay, I would think Mondays are usually kind of busy if you don't work weekends. All right, so we got that. And then let's just take a look at the rest of these designs and see what else. I think we might need some crumb cake. Look at these. So this, we're gonna cut some of these apart because this die is gonna cut out all kinds of these little flowers. How special is that? Okay, and then we've got this one too. Oh, here. Will that work for these? Well, sure enough. And we got 2 of those. How about that? Cool. So let's cut out a bunch of these. I'm going to put that on my magnet right now so I don't lose those 3. And I'm going to cut a 6 by 6 piece of this. So I feel like I'm going to cheat today on our card because I'm casing a card again. But it's really pretty. So let's hang on to that. Let's keep looking at these papers. Look at the back of here. That one's so fun. So these are all like linen tweed designs in there. Those are cute. And this is Secret Sea with the copper or the bronze. I will take a look at that. And the back, I think this is our new hydrangea hue. And this is all foiled. I wonder if there is a die for this too. Let's, I don't think so, because that works with the stamps, and that won't work either. All right, it was worth a try. And then I'm trying to look in my design here to see if those are used. All right, so those are all the papers. I think they're very pretty. And that's the back of that one. We already did that. So I'm gonna get this kind of off to the side for right now. And let's take a look at, my pack did not come with a label on it. It's like they forgot to put the sticker on mine. So I'm gonna look and see if I can find all of the colors. It's gotta be in here somewhere. So it's bronze foiling. All right, so let me write down the colors because I'm gonna wanna know that. And you're gonna wanna know that, right? So we've got bronze, crumb cake, which I thought, well, I'm gonna have to go get a piece of that. Gray granite, hydrangea hue. That's a new color, so that's our purplish blue. Mossy meadow, secret sea. Sorry, I didn't do this ahead of time. And that's it. All right, so those are our colors. So the only color that I don't have would be the hydrangea hue because that's a brand new one. We've not been able to order the papers yet, but oh, in about 30, 40 minutes we'll be able to. I think if you're a demonstrator, you should be able to get some of the new colors and like the glimmer brush, the gel pen, some of the new things. If you've had time to look through your whole catalog, I have not still looked through my entire catalog. I feel like a schmuck. So let me go get some crumb cake. We won't need a lot, but we are going to stamp some images on here. We're going to stamp some of these on here, maybe some of those too. Yes, you should be able to get all of the inks. My understanding is we should be able to order all of the products, I hope. There might be limits. There should be limits because no one demonstrator should be able to order like 100 of anything because that's just not fair. But I think we'll have access to all of the products. In our premiere, our product purchase premiere from the onstage, there was only a small spattering of things that we had the availability to order. So they only gave us, you know, a few things that we could pick, like, I don't know, 7 different things. And we had limits. We could only order one of like the stamp sets. If it was an embellishment, we could order 2. That's as much as we're allowed to order on a pre-order, which is very generous still. I mean, it gives us a chance as demonstrators to try to work on things and, you know, promote the products that are coming in. But it doesn't allow demonstrators to buy out the warehouse, right? Because that's just not right. All right, so let's put some of these on here. We're going to kind of make our own designer series paper again, but it's just going to be crumb cake. And I'm just working off the little picture that I have, but I liked the design that was on there. I noticed it when we first saw some things, so I think that should work. Maybe that should work. And then I don't know if that's going to be wide enough for this or not. I don't know if my D blocks are going to work. They will. It'll be fine. Now I could use the Stampin' Positioner, except that I'm making kind of some random designs here. So, you know, that won't work really well with the positioner. Let me go get my crumb cake ink. I'm also bringing over the pecan pie because I might like that better. Even though there's no pecan pie in here, we'll see. We'll see if I like the crumb cake. Sometimes I'm not a fan of the tone on tone, depending on how well it shows up. Because sometimes it just seems like it fades. And I'm gonna slide my Pearson mat under there. And it shifted a little bit, so we're gonna go like this. We're just gonna pretend I didn't do that one. So we're just gonna put some of these on here. We're gonna make some clusters. And we're gonna end up just cutting like 5 strips. I'm anxious to order the glimmer pens. And I'm gonna order a gel pen, even though the gel pen's only available in white. Sorry, Juju. But I wanna see if they're the same as what I have. And then I can tell you. So if the Stampin' Up! One is the same as like the jelly one, it looks like it's probably gonna be the same. This is a jelly roll one. So if the one that comes from Stampin' Up! As the new product is the same, I'll let you know, because then if you already have one, why buy another one, right? And then let's do a little bit of this. And then maybe another little smidge on here, but I'm going to kind of block this off. And I think that's probably good. I think that'll work. All right, so let's cut this down. Don't you love it when I don't show you what we're making? You have no idea where I'm going with anything, because sometimes I don't either. It's the element of surprise. So we're gonna take this down from 4 1/4 to, well, I'm gonna go like this. And then we're gonna go maybe to 5. Oh, I guess I didn't need some of this over here. I probably should have cut this down first and then put my design on. Maybe I should do that. Let me get another piece of crumb cake. It might work better. We'll cut it down and then the design might work a little bit better. So let's do 3 3/4. And we'll do, that's 5 1/2. That's probably like 4 1/2-ish. Let's just try this again. That was just an exercise. Now we'll see if we can fit this on a little bit better. And then I'm just gonna use this for protection from my Pearson mat. We'll do that. And some of this can overlap over here, I guess. We're gonna make some strips. I know it probably doesn't look like anything so far, and I agree, it doesn't really look like anything just yet. We'll see, hopefully it'll get better. All right, We'll see. And if I don't like it, it's only paper. You're coloring some images of fairies. Cool. So I think the sample doesn't have this, but what if we put some white highlights in here? I don't know how long this has to dry though. Anybody know how long it takes to dry? Is it pretty quick? I think it's pretty quick. So Rosa, what are you making with your fairies? Cards, scrapbooking pages. Isn't that cool? I think I'm going to zoom in a little bit for everybody. And we're going to still cut out some of those images too with the dies. I like that. Now the card that I'm casing doesn't have that on there, so we're just slightly editing. So Rosa, you don't do any memory keeping at all, huh? I did very little till several years ago. My upline had a vendor event that I helped her with, and she's big on offering variety of samples to customers to see. So we, there were 2 of us that helped her, but we all did some scrapbook spreads and some card samples. That looks really cool. And so I had to do some research on scrapbook designs because I had never done it. But I had a lot of fun with those. And now that I've done some of the Stampin' Up kits, the scrapbooking kits, they're amazing. I love them. I have 2 that I could be working on. All right, so let's get this out of the way. And if this was 4.5, we're gonna do 3/4. 3/4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3/4. Of course, it shows only 5 strips, and we're gonna have 6, I think. So that's all right. 3/4. 3/4, and I'm gonna just shift these back over so they stay in order. 3/4. 3/4. And 3/4. All right, and that, my friends, is going to become part of a random base. And I think the sample that I'm casing only has 5, but I like the design, so we're going to go ahead with our 6, and we're just going to kind of spread them something like that. Something like that. So I'm not going to glue those down though. So Rosa, have you ever caught the scrapbooking kits that I've done on here to demonstrate them or not? Or have you watched others do them, or is that just something that you want to watch or you have? Because the Stampin' Up kits are pretty cool. Actually, I'm going to trim some of those a little bit shorter where I can, just to give it some height variation. So where there's no design on the top, I'm going to make them kind of... Oh, you're not into memory keeping at all. I get it. Okay. Sometimes when I look at some of the layouts, I'm thinking, that's an awful lot of wasted space. because, you know, they'll make a whole 12 by 12 layout and have like one 5 by 7 picture on it. And it just seems like I would want to have more pictures on it, you know? Maybe it's just me. So this one I kept long on the top end, but I think I'm going to cut a little bit down at the bottom. So they're all the same size, but it gives us a little more room to wiggle those around. All right, let's move this off to the side. And now we're going to cut out some of these things. And I'm going to get some Mossy Meadow cardstock, or let's see, Mossy Meadow. I've got some designer series paper right here that's got Mossy Meadow. Let's take a look. Let's do something with this. Ooh, I'm gonna cut a 6 by 6 of this. This is the Nature Walk paper. I hope it's still available. I should probably look. Yes, it is still available. All right, so. Hi, Yuda. Welcome. I'm casing a card from the catalog with some minor modifications, so we'll see how it turns out. Well, not from the catalog. I'm casing it from Stampin' Up. All right, so let me get my embossing machine up here. Oh, we could have used some of these on the background too. That's right, maybe we'll use those on the envelope. And we're gonna do some of these. We're gonna do some of this. We're gonna do some of this. And let's see. Oh, for goodness sakes. There we go. I tried to enlarge it on my touch screen and it just got all crazy. All right, and then I have those others out. So let me move these out of the way. Let's see how many things I lose track of. And let's get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine up here. How was your day, Yuda? Everybody else is pretty much status quo. Juju had a busy day because it was a Monday. I'm going to put some of those in there. I took my granddaughter to the coffee house or the coffee shop this morning, and we went to the credit union. Tried to go to a little bookstore, but they're not open on Mondays. Who knew? All right. And I'm getting really warm with my sweatshirt on. Oh, Juju, how is your cowboy coming? Or was it, well, he wasn't a cowboy. He was... Did you finish coloring him? He was sculpted. You had your National Lampoon thing yesterday, right? That was hilarious. There was something else I was going to ask you about. 3, 4. So we're going to just make a little cluster focal point with some of these. And then we'll do this I guess this is out of the green also. Yeah, you were laughing pretty hard. That's why we needed Depends to watch. That was funny. And part of it was, you know, you when you were flipping the page open, like from the middle of the magazine, where he was like standing at attention there, whatever that appendage was. I'm not sure what was being displayed, but then you kept flipping it open. That was so funny. I can almost hear you laughing now. When you're thinking about it, you're probably laughing again. If you guys haven't watched it, you should watch yesterday's Craftin on the Back 40 video. It was hilarious. Oh, that was an X. I couldn't tell because you were flipping it so fast. It was hilarious. Well, she does say, you know, bring your pearls. If you're going to be clutching your pearls, you might not want to watch that one. But it was funny. All right, let's do some of these flowers now. These are gorgeous flowers. Oh, I guess I can put this down. I don't need to have it in my hand. I may just have to watch it again just for the entertainment value of seeing you flip that catalog open. Or the magazine. And listening to you laugh. It was refreshing. All right. Sometimes you just gotta laugh. I think, there we go. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to line those up. That's too close. So let's put this one over here. And we'll put this one over here. Now, for these little ones, we have two, they're the same. If you're lining it up on your paper, there's a really fat flower. That lines up with that fat petal there. So it might not seem super obvious at first, but it's pretty obvious when you lay it down there. And then, she's not here yet, but Love and Pieces is going live tomorrow on her YouTube page. I think it's her YouTube, right? YouTube Live, not Facebook. I think, yeah, it's YouTube. At 8 o'clock Central Time for her first live. So we should all pop in and give her support. All right, those are gorgeous. Look at these. With the bronze element in there. Man, can you, oh, they're just amazing. No wonder this paper is sold out. It'll be back. Don't worry. And if you really want it, my suggestion is, if you're a demonstrator, go to your store and pull it up. Type in like delicate, and you should get all the delicate things. And then mark the box that says notify me when it's available. And you'll get an email. And when you get that email, you jump right on it and you get it ordered. Oh, come on, for heaven's sakes. And then where did my flowers go? Oh, here they are. Fat flower petal. And fat flower petal. And then it doesn't look like the card that I'm casing has the ribbon on here, that 1/4 inch ribbon. So I'm not sure, we might modify it to use that too, because it is really pretty. I can't get over how pretty these flowers are. They're amazing. And the sample only has 2 of them, but I'm going to use 3 of them because I really like the ones with the hydrangea hue. And I'm not going to cut any more of the little ones. I think we're good with, what do I have, 4? We should probably cut out 1 more, right? We'll do a blue one for that. I'm trying to get it to line up so that I don't have to use any tape. And that one's going to be a little bit off, I think, but it'll be all right. Oh, and it's not. Look at that. All right, get that die on that magnet so I don't lose it. That die on there. All right, let's move these over. I think that's all. Oh, no. They stamped in crumb cake on some basic white and cut out a couple of other pieces. So let me see. They cut out, let me get the stamps. Do I already have it? Ow. Let's see if this, there's not a die for that. It doesn't look like it's fussy cut, but maybe it is. I do not see a die for that piece, but it sure looks like that's, oh well. We're gonna fussy cut a couple of these and use these too, because they're pretty. Okay, I don't know if you can hear my stomach growling. That was a little bit of a surprise. I didn't think I was hungry. Well, that wasn't too painful. And then let's cut out maybe this one. I really don't like to fussy cut, but you know, it's really not all that bad. And what do they, my granddaughter says they call it bubble cutting at school, because it's like they're making a little bubble around the design, I guess. So we were doing something today and we were fussy cutting something. She said, oh yeah, we need to bubble cut that, Grandma. I'm like, okay, fine. And I think I'll do this one. We'll see what our little cluster looks like. Hopefully it'll be a good cluster. Not a bad cluster. I think this one is probably just a little bit easier for me because this design is just so abstract on here. And quite honestly, I'm not giving it a whole lot of thought. I'm just doing it. All right, so let's move that out of the way. I guess I can get rid of the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then we need some more of the Designer Series paper. This little design that I thought was so cute. We are going to need a strip of that. And we're going to make that about, let's just go an inch. And maybe 4.5. And then we need another strip for sentiment, because that's going to come across here. And let's see what our sentiment options are. Wishing you happiness and love. Thank you kindly and hope you feel your best soon. I'm going to do this one, wishing you happiness and love, and I'm just going to make it wishing you happiness. Because wishing you happiness and love seems more like a wedding or anniversary or something. And then let's get Secret Sea ink. So I did pull all my last mini catalog designer series paper off my shelf so that I can put my new designer series paper on the shelf. I need to just cover that. So all I'm doing is covering the and love with some Post-it tape. And then make sure you take your tape off. We'll see if I smeared it, because the W looks kind of wonky. Just hold it here for a little bit so that the ink can sink in. And hopefully I didn't smear the W. Phew! Did not. Okay. So this is going to come across here, and we're going to go, let's do this angle here. And then I'm going to save that triangle because I'm going to flip it around and use it as a template on this side. So I cut at the same angle. Kind of like when you're making the flag end on your banner, you know, when you snip in the middle and then snip and snip and it's nice and symmetrical. That's kind of the same thing with using that corner piece and flipping it around. Just saying. That works for me. So that can go there. I think I want that a little narrower there, though. I got a lot of stuff messed up around here. Let's get rid of that. So let's just make this a little skinnier. And I think that's a little bit crooked, but we're going to have to roll with it, I think. Yeah. Let's see if I can fix it. It looks a little crooked to me, because I wasn't paying enough attention. There, that'll be good. And this little edge didn't cut, so let's just fix that. And then that could be a little narrower also. So let's just take off about that much. There, that'll be pretty. And then let's see about this ribbon. Maybe we can get some of that in there too. Maybe if we just put this under here, that would be a nice touch. All right, so that's a little different than the one I'm looking at too. So that's going to go there. Now, where did my card go? There it is. All right, So this is gonna go around here. So let's just put this together right now. And I'm gonna put tear and tape on the back of that ribbon because it's narrow. And that'll work just about perfectly, I think. Close to perfect, there we go. That's kind of in the middle. And then maybe that on dimensionals. Everybody's so quiet tonight. Is everybody either busy at work or just tired? Or maybe you just don't like the card because you don't know what it's going to look like yet. All right, so let's start gluing some of these pieces on. I'm going to start with this one in the middle. Skin tones research. All right, well, Stampin' Up had a whole bunch of alcohol blends that were the different skin tones. Was that like that, or was that like that? No, it was like this. And I guess that one's going to go under there because I just smeared glue on it. So it's going to go like so. And Allie, you're doing cards for tomorrow's class. How many classes do you do? Do you have something every week? And Rosa, you're doing a card now, fussy cutting and gluing. All right, well, I'm glad everybody's crafting then. And I don't have to feel alone if everybody's busy working too. I really like this with the white on the crumb cake, with that white gel pen. Okay. Oh, so you do your seniors every week. Okay. And how many do you normally have in your seniors group? And is that like at a senior living center or some other kind of group? Sorry, I had to take a sip of my soda from yesterday. All right, so let's start laying some of these pieces out and kind of make our cluster. Some of this is going to get covered up. And that's a little disappointing, but that's kind of how the design is. So I'm just going to kind of maybe roll with it, see how it looks. I'm not going to use that. I think that's too many. All right, and then let's put a couple of these on. I love these flowers. And this is going to kind of sit in here. I think maybe we'll just make it shorter. So that'll kind of sit in there. These are so pretty. I'm going to put this, the sample doesn't have one of those on there on that side, but I think I'm going to do it anyway. What do you think? And then I'm going to spatter those on there. So they have a place where seniors can go and have lunch and then do the class. So there's a different class every day of the week then, it sounds like. That's nice. All right, I am fishing for some dimensionals. I'm going to put all of these on big dimensionals. Thanks, Juju. I wish I could say that I came up with the design, but you know, it's a Stampin' Up! One. And I think maybe I'll go ahead and put this down. I could try to cluster some of the things to the back of this. Like, let's get these out of the way. If I put this here, I want that flower on top of that. And then let's get those out of there. I'm going to put these green ones under there, maybe. So they'll be mostly secured with that sentiment. I think they're going to be pretty good. And then we can do these pieces. And I think we'll use some little dimensionals on the tips and glue on the bases. Yeah, the senior gals that I do, they have like a painting day, but they don't have stuff every day of the week as options to them. They do it like once a month. So the painting is once a month. I come and do the cards with them. We used to do it every month, but then it got to be a little much for them. So now we just do it every other month with them for now until they change their mind again. The garden is off site. Oh, gardening. Okay. Oh, I get it. That's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and put this one over here. I have a friend that does a community garden in the city to the south of us. And it does really well, I guess. And I guess I need just a little bit more glue on a couple of these because they kind of shifted, so they must not have been quite as secure as I had hoped. Okay, what else do I have? This one. And then let's put some more big dimensionals on these flowers. I just can't get over how pretty these are. And I'm not... florals would not necessarily be my go-to. I think it just depends on the colors. I'm more into like the foliage for sure. Oh, maybe I should have put that there so it kind of goes on top. And then let's do some little glue spots for these, huh? So maybe a couple over here. Oh, and there's food too, huh? Perfect. And then we got this one, so I think I'm gonna put that over here. I'm ready for like the summer because in the village that's next to us where I do my coffee and a card, in the summer they have food trucks set up every Monday night, which is kind of fun. I'm gonna put this, I think. I think we'll add, is that too much if I put that there? Or should I just leave it alone? Maybe even make it shorter, huh? That might work better. Just make it a little shorter. Yeah, invite all of us when they have outings, right? There, I think that works. All right, so now that sentiment might be a little crooked, but it might be more because of how the flowers are. I don't know. I think it'll have to be okay, right? And then we need some embellishments. Where did those go? The matte dots. Okay, they're here somewhere. I'm trying to be calm and find the matte dots. But I got a lot going on here. So let's pull over all of this stuff. Maybe it's in here. I mean, I'm usually a little messy, but this is like ridiculous. Okay, what did I do with the matte dots? I know I showed them. Oh, for goodness sakes. Oh, here they are. Phew. They were under my inks. All right, so I think I want to use the Secret C. What do you think? The sample that I'm looking at doesn't have any, but we could also do white so that kind of goes with the petals. Any suggestions? Or I could probably use a couple of the white ones. Okay, Rosa, I think that's a good idea. So let's tuck one under here. Well, I'm glad everybody's saying white since I already started sticking them on. These are fun. They're low profile. So they're nice and flat. They should mail really well. I think we'll do that one there. Do I need more than 3? 1, 2, 3. I could probably put a couple of Secret C ones there too. And these do come in 2 different sizes. There's the small and there's the larger ones. Maybe if I put some Secret C ones, maybe that'll be too much. Or maybe not. I can always peel them off. But I think if I kind of tuck them under, they're not obnoxious. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's kind of fun. All right, now let's do a little envelope work here. And we are going to take a piece of this and cut it to 2 1/4. And we're going to glue it on the flap. So it coordinates with the front of our card. Now when I line this up, I try to leave it so that I can see just the white of the envelope at the top. So that usually it glues pretty, or it doesn't separate, hopefully, when you put your card in. I just don't want it to hang over the front at the top, okay? Then put my scissors away. I'll cut the extra off. And 2 1/4 is like perfect with less waste. If I'm feeling really generous or wasteful, then I just do 2 1/2. And these snips, for whatever reason, these are the pair that are super stiff. I'm not sure why, but they're super stiff. All right, so that's the back of the envelope. But now I want to get that flower stamp. And stamp a little bit on the inside of the card and on the envelope. So we're gonna do crumb cake because that'll kind of go with the bronze. Oh, actually, I guess I'm doing pecan pie. Oh, that's pretty. And then we're going to do a couple inside our card as well. And then let me get, I wish I had the hydrangea hue marker. I think I'm just going to leave it, the alcohol blend. Just going to leave it because I don't want to have a color that doesn't match, that doesn't work. And I think azure afternoon is going to be too bright. Balmy blue is not a good color. Secret Sea is going to be too dark. So there you have it. So we're looking at the Delicate Whisper, the Delicate Dreams Suite. Thanks for the hearts. Beautiful. Cased from the online store. So it's a Stampin' Up design. But of course, mine looks a little different because I usually do. I do usually make it look a little different. And we can't even see the ribbon on the other side here because Lori didn't make it stick out enough. But there's a little bit. Thanks, Juju. And I just realized that this card base was not the thick basic white. So it's a little flimsier than normal. And we're going to go ahead and do our little stamp on the back. And then we're going to call it a night. Handcrafted from the heart. And I got a little smudge there. So I'm going to use the little gel pen. And I'm going to camouflage it. And hopefully when it dries, nobody will care. I think you can still kind of see it, but when it dries, maybe I'll do another coat. All right. Fun. Very fun. All right. So, that's all I got. Oh, you're in the pre-order. Oh, thank you for the reminder. That's what I have to do before I can go to bed. What are you getting? All right. Menu. And don't forget to, you should have something to get your catalog, Juju. You should have seen a message to claim your catalog. Did you do that? Just add it to your cart. And with that, I'm going to let you ladies go because I have some shopping to do. You're welcome, Rosa. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate everybody's support and watching me, giving me the watch time and the hearts and the follows and all the things. Yes, Allie, you need to go there too. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your night or the rest of your day. And don't forget Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time, Love and Pieces is going to go live as well. And let's say goodnight. All right, there we go. Until next time, everybody, happy crafting.